clip that I just showed you was from arguably the best cartoon TV show ever created. And I know that's probably kind of biased because it's my favourite ever cartoon TV show ever made, called Amazing World of Gumball. And if you haven't heard of it, then I mean you must be living under a rock. But for those of you who do know, The Amazing World of Gumball, the show from Cartoon Network, is one of the greatest cartoons that's ever existed. But I grew up during a time where The Amazing World of Gumball, Adventure Time, and regular show, the big three they would say, all three of those were aired on TV at the same time. And don't get me wrong, Adventure Time and regular show are incredible shows. They are masterpieces of their own. And I could make separate videos about both of those TV shows. But for this video, I'm solely focusing on The Amazing World of Gumball. And for one reason only. Because in this show, for those of you who somehow haven't watched it, there's the main two characters is a blue cat called Gumball and a goldfish with legs called Darwin. And a piece of very important information is that each character in this cartoon is completely different. All of them are like very unique. Like there's like a banana. I forgot his name. Banana. I honestly forgot. I don't remember all their names. There's also there's a T-Rex, just to name a few. And there's one character in this TV show. There's one character called Susie. I'm pretty sure they were named Susie. I'm gonna quickly check though. Hold on, I'm gonna quickly check what they were called. Oh, Sussie. So there's one character in this show called Sussie, who is an extremely interesting but kind of weird character. And I remember when I used to watch this show when I was younger, every time I saw this character in an episode, I would feel extremely uncomfortable. And probably my least favourite episodes in this show contained this Sussie character, because the character design itself was very questionable. It's a person's face tipped upside down with googly eyes on their chin. So they just look really weird. And then they have like a little dress. It's almost like it's very hard to explain. I'm just going to show a picture of it, and hopefully you can understand what I'm saying. But honestly, it's like, it made me really uncomfortable watching this character in this show. But there is one episode in this TV show that's solely focused on this Sussie character. I don't know if it's Sussie or Susie, but I'm saying Sussie because it has two S's. But there's one episode called The Weirdo, which is an episode solely based on this Sussie character. And in this episode, I don't remember it too clearly, but I remember it goes something along the lines of the main characters, Gumball and Darwin, they're like chasing this Sussie character around the entire episode. I don't really remember what actually happened in the episode, but at the end of the episode, Gumball and Darwin, they go and confront Sussie. I forgot what the plot was, but that's not really that important, because the point that I'm trying to make is that this episode was called The Weirdo, and it was solely focused on Sussie. And at the end of this episode, Sussie goes and sings a little song. The song that I showed at the start of the video. I didn't show the entire clip because I don't want to get copyright striked by Cartoon Network. And also it would ruin the pacing of the video a little bit. But Susie sings them this song, and the first thing she says in this song, and at the time when I watched the episode I didn't even notice it, but she quite literally says to Gumball and Darwin, the first line of the opening line of this song is, "You think I'm a weirdo, but look out your window." Like, when I first heard that, I didn't really think of it that much because she moves on from it immediately. But I saw a comment on the YouTube video saying, because Sussie is quite literally saying, "You think I am the weirdo?" Like, because she is presented as a very weird character, and she's quite just saying, "You think I'm the weirdo out of all of you, but just look out your window, like just look out the window because like all of you are just really weird, because every single character in that show, there's nothing normal about any of these characters in the Amazing World of Gumball, and that's the crazy thing about it. She's kind of opening their eyes, like, to reality here, like you could say, and you wouldn't expect that from a character like Sussie. And I just find it interesting because you can compare it to modern day society, how people are always trying to fit in with each other. They're always trying to change their characters to fit in with their friend group. They're always trying to manipulate and change their characters and forge them to be just like other people so they don't feel left out. People are always trying to, like, there's girls, especially in the UK, there are girls who put on makeup just to look exactly like their friends. And I see it a lot. And it's just kind of sad, I'll be honest with you. But it's not only just girls, there's also people who wear the same clothes, buy the same jewellery, and they just do it because they want to fit in. They want to feel like they belong. And it's interesting because if we bring it back to the Amazing World of Gumball, Sussie, even though she knows, she's aware that she's seen as a weird person, but she isn't really bothered by it, which is something that we should take into account, that maybe because Sussie here is just trying to be herself, she doesn't want to be like the people around her. And if we go back to what Sussie said in that song, when she said, "Look out your window," like I said, she's quite literally saying that everyone else is also a weirdo, just like Sussie, just like her. And if we compare that to the reality of our world that we live in, we are also just as weird as each other because we all have our own characters. The character that we have is what makes each other unique. Because without this character, without the character that you have, you're nothing like the next person, if you know what I'm saying. And I remember one of my first videos, and I think it's one of my most popular videos, I said in that video, just be yourself. And I remember when I said that, I was thinking to myself, like, that's just a very basic thing to say, because it doesn't really mean anything. If I just tell you to be yourself, like, what does that really mean? But maybe it means don't try to force your character. Just express yourself for who you believe you are. Just express your beliefs, express your opinions. Just do your best to express how you feel. And I feel like this is a very important lesson that I feel like I wish I learned a long time ago. I remember when I first joined my school, I received a lot of racial abuse. This caused me to change my character and force my character to be like other people so I could fit in. But in reality, those people just didn't accept me for who I was because they just didn't like the fact that I was darker than them. And it's a sad reality, and I know maybe some of you watching this video won't really relate, and I know there's maybe some of you live in a more diverse area where this situation just doesn't happen. And that's fine, that's great, but my point being, trying to fit in with other people is a much more isolating experience than actually isolating yourself from the people that don't care about you. Because those people will never care about you, and there's no reason to be anywhere near them. And literally, physically isolating yourself from those people will do the exact opposite. Kind of like Sir Isaac Newton. Every action has an equal opposite reaction, you know? So isolating yourself from someone who doesn't care about you actually brings you more fulfillment than staying and trying to forge your character into a mold that isn't who you are. And I know I haven't posted on this channel in quite a while, and hopefully I can get some more videos out for you guys. But that's all I have to say for this video. So just make sure that tomorrow when you wake up, remember to be like Sussie, and just remember. 'Cause